Across the Funk and Saeed reading, as well as the two videos we watched some common themes arise that can aid us in thinking through even the most, such as the Israeli-Palestinian. First, I want to begin with a brief story. In undergrad, I visited Palestine on a trip. Though the trip was run by a Christian, the leaders took great strides to engage in interreligious dialogue and paint a nuanced portrait of the long history of conflict. I spent time traveling throughout the region, but one day specifically stuck out. I spent the day exploring Jerusalem on a tour led by a Jewish scholar historian. However, this was also a Friday in Ramadan, so the tour of the city was shaded by this understanding of the importance of Jerusalem and the land in general to the Muslim community. Thousands of Palestinian refugees scattered from their homes. Myself and a few other students chose to fast on this solidarity with those fasting Ramadan, and we broke fast with an imam and his family at their home, where they welcomed us with open arms and lots of food. I share this story in order to connect the conflict back to some of the course. Though the experience was impactful for me personally, in order to create a more sustained peace in the area, sustained dialogue is required. Saeed argues for conflict transformation rather than conflict resolution, and mentions both in the video and the text the importance of interreligious engagement that does not entail a mere coming together, as my example shows, but a deeper commitment and an actionable agenda to pursue. Through dialogue, we combat fear and develop knowledge. Though I learned the value of beginning interreligious while traveling to the center of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, the example fails to show the importance of learning about the history of the conflict in order to gain a deeper perspective on, or, in Saeed's words, conflict transformation. We need encounters, such as the one I described, to begin the conversation on conflict transformation. Yet, as Saeed points out, we need more than this, especially for a conflict that involves deep historical trauma on both sides. Rather than interreligious engagement that occurs in one-off situations, such as the example I gave, we need more examples of sustained relationships as exemplified in the YouTube documentary on the Nigerian imam and pastor who began as enemies and worked through their theological differences to land on a commitment. Saeed quotes Rabbi Michael Lerner when describing the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Lerner himself has likened the painful collision of Jews and Palestinians to a man leaping from the second story of a burning building and landing on another person. There is pain, trauma, and generational wounds on both sides, and conflict resolution must take into account the complexities. A simple call to nonviolence without recognition of these pains will fall flat. One important chapter in which the Arab-Israeli conflict takes center stage, Chapter 8, Peace Through Universalism. Saeed claims that peace through universalism stresses the transforming human character, creating equilibrium with the soul and developing harmony among people of diverse faiths. Peace is in the making, Saeed argues. It is never made. It's a process and an action. Leadership and strong examples of interreligious engagement in provide key insights into the ways in which the West can engage in conflict in general and the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Scholars have dedicated their entire lives to the study of the Israeli. So I humbly acknowledge that my suggestions do not intend to solve the conflict. For 3 minutes is not a lot of space. Yet I want to highlight that I think it is crucial to call to mind a remembrance of peace as actionable, and interreligious engagement as sustained, not cursory. Furthermore, as mentioned, history of the area and a deeper knowledge of Islamic beliefs, as well as the examples of Islamic interreligious engagement from the past, are necessary for present and future interreligious dialogue in the